What's up guys, Mr. Bazy here, and today I'm going to bring you a commentary kind of discussing why I think that the kind of direction that Halo has been going and the direction that it seems to be going in for the foreseeable future is kind of the right move. That's why, and I'm going to discuss why I think it is the right move. So right off the bat, I want to say that it is important that we appease to the veterans. It's very important that we do that, and me being a veteran, I want that to happen. But at the same time, I take a step back and I look at where the community is as a whole. And the community, I wouldn't say it's struggling, because there are a decent amount of people that do like Halo, but it is on the lesser side of popularity these days, and it's very surprising that Halo's been able to hold up so long after kind of disappointing launches. Halo Reach, I think most people would be in agreement that it wasn't the successor to Halo 3 that everybody thought it was going to be. It was in some aspects. Some aspects brought some good things to the table in terms of like Forge and custom game settings and things like that. But in terms of the overall experience, I don't think people were 100% satisfied with it. And Halo 4 came out, 343, there were some difficulties in the beginning of that game and some, ignorance on their part. So, those two games coming out and not really being the successors that people wanted them to be, and that's a pretty big duration of time if you think about when Halo 3 came out, or let's just say when Halo 3 ended, and kind of when Halo 4 died down a bit, after the whole, new game craze that was going on. So it was kind of, it's kind of been depressing lately, and it's been going down scale with the popularity. But Halo 5 seemed like a refreshing bit. There are very good things, and they're doing things that are positive. I understand a lot of their motives behind some things, like I've had multiple discussions with people on YouTube about this. With the getting your health not regenerating, or not regenerating your health while you're running. I understand the motives behind that. I don't personally agree with them, but again, I understand why they did that. But I also see the problems with doing that. I see the problems that arise out of doing that. So I really think that where they're going with it, keeping sprint in the game and things like that, I think that's a really good thing, because we do have to appease to other platform gamers out there, or not platform gamers, but other genre gamers out there. So Call of Duty is, even though I don't like to admit it, it is one of the most popular games out there. Right now it is massively popular, definitely stomps on Halo in terms of popularity, not really in terms of, probably not in terms of, do people like it better than Halo, because I'm sure a lot of people do enjoy Halo. Even Call of Duty players really enjoy Halo. There's a ton of Halo pros that have moved over to Call of Duty professional gaming, just because it's more popular right now. There's more payouts in terms of competitive and all that stuff, and of course the public matches are just always all the time just unbelievably popular. Their public matches are populated beyond belief. So it's just something that I personally see, and I see what people like to play. I see the simplicity of Call of Duty, what it is, and even though many people will refer to Call of Duty as an inferior series, I really don't think so, because people really like it a lot. Now, it's not, I don't personally like Call of Duty as much as Halo, but in terms of, is that game more successful than Halo right now? Well, yeah, it really is. So I think that where we're going with Halo right now, what 343 has done so far, the very few things that we've seen them do, like adding scopable weapons to pretty much everything that, or nearly everything that is available to have a scope. I'm pretty sure even the sword has a scope now. The sword allows you to lunge further if you scope in, if I'm not mistaken. But those are the kinds of things, starting off with the control scheme that is exactly the same as Call of Duty. That's a good step, because people are immediately familiar with the game. They don't have to recalibrate their gameplay just to play Halo, and everything feels very familiar. Sprinting in the game, even though me personally, I don't like sprint being implemented all over the place. I do enjoy sprint in Halo. I will say that I do like sprint in Halo. But again, I think my idea of toggleable abilities such as, D-scope toggleable and sprint toggleable for custom game settings, and even have like a game type that's straight up classic, with no loadouts and all that stuff. That would be a great implementation as well, because I know a lot of people like to play old school. I like to play old school sometimes, but I also like to have the refresher of playing with the new updated schematics of sprinting and all that stuff. So, but I do like that sprints in the game. People that are coming over from Call of Duty are going to have a lot more fun on the game. That's really what it's about. We're all here to have fun, even though some of us are more competitive than others. But the whole aspect behind it is we do need to attract new players. We do need to bring back old players, and we can do that with some other implementations. But in terms of keeping the new players that stay here and they want to have fun and all that stuff, that's what we need to do. And that's what I think 343 is really concentrating on, and I think that's a good move. It's one thing to appease to one community, and it's another thing to appease to the other community. But finding a good balance is really the key here, because I don't want to say screw all the veterans, because the veterans right now, even though even with Halo 5, if Halo 5 came out and they didn't change anything, all the veterans, or ones that are really optimistic about Halo and that can look past some of the negative things that we saw, are definitely going to be playing Halo 5. It's going to be veterans, it's going to be a few new players, but all the people that love Halo are going to be picking up the new Halo, right? But keeping those veterans, keeping them happy, and not having a game that they wish that could change, or there were certain aspects that they wish could change, is crucial. But it's equally as crucial to keep the new players that just pick up the game, they want to experience it, because with Halo 4, I think it was kind of a failure in that regard, because people, for whatever reason, I personally didn't mind it all that much right off the bat. I think it did get better, of course, much better as time progressed, but when new players picked up Halo 4, I don't think that they were impressed. I don't think that the fun factor was really there for most people. But Halo 5 might have that option. It might have that opportunity for new players to come, sit down, play the game, and be really amazed and taken back at how good Halo is, and maybe consider spending a bit more time on Halo, maybe becoming more of a community member on Halo, getting more involved on Halo, forging, custom gaming, all those kinds of things, or even some people that are really highly competitive. We might see the next generation of competitive players on Halo 5. A lot of the pros, guys, either have stopped playing, or have postponed their competitive play, or have moved to different games and probably won't be coming back all too soon. Of course, they'll probably try to play on both, but when you're on a competitive team, especially a professional one where you have contracts and you have daily, not only streaming that they do now, but as well as, practice, it's very hard to balance both games on a competitive level. Not really a casual level, but on a competitive level it is. So, I think that this is a good step forward. We've seen this in the past. Reach, when Halo Reach came out, there were a multitude of pros, or I guess amateurs that became pros just out of nowhere. There was a lot of them, right? Or at least semi-pros, if not pros. We saw a bunch of new people on the main stage and all those things. So I do think that they're headed in the right direction. Once again, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. It's fine to disagree with me, because it's all about the conversation. It's all about getting the right balance of things. And whether you agree or disagree with me, I'd like to hear about it in the comments so we can discuss it. So with that being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Rate the video what you think it deserved, and if you'd like to become a Sage in training, make sure you subscribe today. This has been Mr. Bazy, your favorite Sage, and I'll see you in the next video.